So this is Idris's snake collection. Tell us what you have in some of these tinks.
Basically, this is just about all that I have as far as arboreal snakes right now. I love them. They've been like a lifelong passion for me. I've had snakes since the 80s. The arboreal snakes, this is actually an example of parallelism in evolution. You have emerald tree boas, which they're from South America and whatnot. And you have green tree pythons, like chondro python, Morelia viridis, and Corallus caninus, emerald tree boas. Basically, they're similar in almost every way. They live about 2,000 meters above sea level. They get between about 5 feet long on the chondros, and with the female basins being one of the larger emerald tree boas, the Amazon basin can get about 6-7 feet long, some even longer in the wild, but in captivity, I guess a 6-foot tree python would be pretty big. A 6-foot tree boa would be pretty big.
Yeah.
They're rear fang. They eat a lot of birds. Anything that could be up in a tree. The bite from these guys is no joke. You don't want to get tagged by a tree snake. I can compare their fangs to sort of like that game at the carnival that the thing comes down, it's supposed to grab the thing, but they never put the pressure on it, so it always lets it go. Woo! These guys don't let go as quickly because they basically grab, and then when the thing would try to move, it's counterproductive for the prey to move because it would just go further in the teeth because the teeth are, curved in like that. So they can grab and hold a bird, say, even in pitch dark because their heat sensing ability is so well adapted that they can, pitch black, they can just grab something. It's fascinating. You can feed them a rodent that you thaw out, and if the rodent is cooler than your hand, they'll miss the rodent and they'll hit your hand. That's why you got to use the proper tools when you feed these things. But if you put your hand in a freezer and then grab the warm rodent, 9 times out of 10 they will hit that rodent perfectly and won't touch your hand because they're zoning in on the heat and not. Most of the bites you're going to get from these animals is user error. It's usually your fault. They're usually just trying to eat and you were being careless.
Yeah, that's why I don't really deal with snakes. Do you feed them live mice or frozen?
I prefer to feed frozen. I haven't fed live in many, many years. When I first started keeping chondros, I guess it was like '02, I was feeding live in '02. I didn't know any better. Then I started reading and learning about the pathogen reduction. It's very, very risky. Your animal can get bitten by a live rat, number one. They probably, not only can they pass pathogens from a live animal to your snake, but you don't want your snake getting attacked by a rat that it's killing. It's a hassle to go pick up live animals. There's just almost no advantage to me in feeding live rats to your animal. Probably they're going to be more aggressive, possibly, from having to kill. Even though they sort of go through the ritual when you thaw out the rat, they'll still grab it, wrap it around, and constrict it for a period of time before they eat it. You're just better off. You can get like 50 to 100, very cheap, vacuum sealed, fresh, euthanized in a humane way, they say. You can buy the food almost how you buy your own food. Comes with dry ice in a nice box. A lot of companies selling them frozen.
Okay, cool. So like. All of these snakes are pretty much the same. I know you went over some of the names, but
this is an Amazon basin emerald tree boa. I could try to get him out for you if you want to get a better look at him.
Please don't get bitten.
This is Achilles. I love this guy.
Let me zoom in on him.
He's very friendly. He's never attacked me. He's got a nice snowflakey pattern. He's got a high amount of white, nice dark color. He doesn't have a lot of blue on his underbelly like my female does. But he's got, people, like basin enthusiasts will typically grade animals by the amount of white or the amount of dark black and the blue under the belly, and sort of like if you have a barbed wire pattern, or it's sort of like the classic, like guys like Ed Marino and Steve Volk have always traditionally had some really, really nice snowflaking, barbed wired animals, or even like these diamonds, like you'll see some of them have like diamonds on the tail. And the bigger the diamonds and the bigger the scales of white, typically the more desirable the animal is. I mean, they're all beautiful in their own right, but the more white they have, typically the more people love them or like them, and the more expensive they are.
How much do one of these guys go for?
Males are, a little easier to find. Like a higher white male could still command a good price. You might see, depends on who's selling them also. Like some of the guys that have been doing this a very long time and have a brand and a reputation in the hobby as have being sort of like the go-to guys for basins. Some of them can get between $5,000 and $7,000 for a baby Amazon basin emerald. The females, you don't even see that many females offered. People will usually hold on to a nice female unless they have a surplus. It's very hard to find a female.
And I noticed that you keep a lot of the snakes in their own terrariums. Is that what you call these things? I'm not
These are
not aware of any of this stuff.
These are actually from Jim Chaperon. This is a PVC cage, so it's like some of them are ABS or PVC. They retain heat pretty well. They have a nice custom ventilation in the back. The doors slide across. This has got to be about 11 years old. This enclosure, and it's got a Pro Products heat panel that was customized to this tank size.
Can't really see that well.
Yeah, it's really dark, but that's a Pro Products heat panel that's actually set to the Herbstat Spider Robotics proportional thermostat. And what this will do is it will set the temperature. As you can see, it's cold in the room because we had the door open. Usually I try to keep an 84-degree area perch because basins will usually actively seek out temperatures between 82 and 84 degrees during the day to bask. So they need that. Like you can't just use room temperature for an arboreal snake. They require a perching spot. You want to even have a warmer spot potentially. Like you can even, basically they thermoregulate. So if you had a wide tank like this, and you had a spot that was say 88 degrees, and then another spot that was say 80 degrees, that would be ideal because then the animal, when it's digesting, will go towards heat, and when it is not digesting and it's resting or active, it'll go away from the heat, and you'll see the animal move as it sort of wants heat or doesn't want heat. But they tend to seek out 82 to 84 degrees. They love that temperature.
Oh, okay. And my question was, why are all of the snakes in cages alone?
You don't really keep free pythons communally unless you're trying to breed them. So if anyone's keeping chondros together, they should be attempting to breed them. You're going to get fighting with adult males potentially. If your animals are wild caught, you could introduce pathogens from one animal to the other. There's almost no benefit to keeping snakes together. You don't know who's defecating or urinating. You like to, with basins especially, the digestive systems are so sensitive that you want to monitor defecation of an Amazon basin emerald tree boa. You really want to monitor them because if you're feeding a basin emerald more than 3 times without a defecation, you're at risk of killing that animal. You can overfeed a basin, it can become impacted, constipated, and if you overfeed it, like where it hasn't passed the stool, you're going to kill your snake. So you should actually keep stool records on your basins to make sure that they're passing things along in a timely fashion. And you may have to soak them, put them in a rain chamber or something to pass along the stool in a safe way. So you basically want your animals alone so you can isolate their metabolisms and keep them away from pathogens. And you really should only be introducing animals during the breeding season.
Nice. I just learned a lot about snakes, so that's about it. So anybody that's into snakes could possibly hit Idris up for some information on snakes. That's pretty much the end. This has been a great experience. Like, it's my good friend. I've known him for a long time, and you guys got a pretty big bang for your buck. He taught me a lot of stuff that I didn't know. Like, I'm no expert, and I keep telling you guys that. So that's basically why I created Dark Frog TV. I'm going to try my best to interview some of the brightest minds on poison dart frogs and vivariums. And I feel like he's very, very knowledgeable, has everything, and he taught me some stuff that I didn't know. Anything else you want to say?
No, not really. I appreciate you coming by, and I hope you guys enjoyed, checking out some of the frogs and the snakes. And feel free to message me on Facebook, ask me any questions if you guys have any questions about keeping poison dart frogs or arboreal snakes. And that's pretty much it.
I'm definitely taking home a lot of supplements. I'm going to get some ABG. I already purchased a few frogs, so I might take some more frogs because I have no frogs, and you guys definitely want to see frogs from me. So this is my first guest ever, Idris Brown, owner, founder and maintainer of Tincman Herps, and this is Dark Frog TV. Same thing, like, don't dislike, comment, subscribe, and enjoy your frogs. Thank you.